Gentlemen, my name is God from Brett Keen Radio. Make sure you check out my gaming channel, Games You Love. And when you get an opportunity, check out my gaming channel, Games You Love. Today at 7 p.m. Central, my time, I'm going to be having a show that is simply and only going to be about my gaming channel, Games You Love. People can come in and ask me questions about Brokeback Mountain, but I pretty much just want to talk about my gaming channel, Games You Love. I don't know if many of you know this, although I refer to myself as a homosexual, transgender, lesbian. I believe that the Bible teaches me in the book of Brokeback Mountain that if people do bad things, or people do bad things, support people's right to do what they want to. Marriage is nothing more than an extended amount of sex and time, and then when you get tired of your fucking first, and you get tired of your kids, you just drop them off.
I don't understand people who are straight fucking.
Welcome to the Brett's Kings podcast. I am your host, Alan Nagel, and right here with me in the studio, I have Joe Faggot Murphy.
That really hurts my feelings.
And also, I have Taylor.
Sup?
Wow, you're gay. And this is the official, the one, the only Black Lives Matter episode. Joe, what is your thought on this current epidemic as it stands?
I hate black people.
Wow. And that is a very unique position, and I think that the media really needs to start embracing it.
I'm just kidding. It's just stupid.
That's your opinion?
Well, I mean, there's no reason to fucking destroy your own cities over one guy dying.
Well, you know, I disagree.
Okay.
And Taylor, what is your thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts.
I do have a lot of thoughts.
If they're trying to get a point out, they shouldn't be destroying their city. Because they're trying to get the point that they want to help their city.
I disagree.
So that really doesn't make any sense.
I think to help someone, you have to destroy them.
You have to destroy your city to help your city?
Yes.
Alright.
It's a very abstract idea. I don't really think you guys understand.
I feel like you're lying.
Well, anyways, we're going to start off the show before we jump into Black Lives Matter with a Joe requesting video, and it is called For the Rapist Who Called Themselves Feminist.
I didn't request this.
Joe requested this. You heard it straight from his mouth, guys.
Perhaps this body belongs to the first time I was raped.
Yes, it does.
And I think about how fucked up it is to begin a sentence with the first
I just dropped some
time I was
popcorn down my
raped.
shirt.
Shut up, dude. We're trying to watch a video. You know what, Joe? I have had you on this show for years, and not once have you complained about dropping popcorn. And what we are going to do is we are going to act as a community and as a show, and we are not going to worry about the popcorn that you drop, but the quality of our show.
It's in my shirt.
Shut
I
up.
can't find it.
Here we go.
Belongs to the first time I was raped. And I think about how fucked up it is to begin a sentence with the first time I was raped.
Yes, it is.
And how when I talk to other women about this, it almost seems like it's not even if you've been assaulted.
Wow, yeah, that's really true. It's like every time I look at a woman, they're like, yeah, I was raped too. It's just everywhere.
Every woman has been raped at least once in their life.
According to feminists, if you have a friend who is raped,
Yeah.
then you were raped as well. So I can't really take
Or if you have a friend.
take this statement with much credibility.
If a man talked to you once, that means you're raped.
Oh, one of the feminists we watched on one of the post shows, or I think it was in actually the first episode, said that if you step on a woman's foot, that's rape.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally
But,
call
like-
out rape whenever a man does literally anything not even offensive.
So what happens?
To a woman.
What happens if I step on a guy's foot?
I still think that's rape.
Okay.
But, you know, they might get on me for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when? See, women have so much in common. like living Zumba.
Mm-hmm.
Being interrupted, experiencing violence.
Yeah.
And when another male friend turns out to be a rapist, the same male friend who wore feminism across his chest like a pageant sash, I can't help but remember meeting him at a sexual violence prevention rally and the disappointing...
I actually, and hear me out on this, I actually think the majority of people who call themselves feminists, the majority of males who call themselves feminists, hear me out, are not rapists.
Yeah.
We had 2 world wars, and we lost millions of people, so this shit could happen.
Thank God for America.
So women can complain about being oppressed.
Well, Joe, here's the problem. They are oppressed.
Okay.
Because men aren't oppressed at all. It's only women, you know?
No, men don't die or raped either. Men are
Yeah.
never raped.
I don't think they are. Give me one. Do you know a guy who was raped?
I don't know one, but I know, like...
My uncle raped me.
Yeah, actually, rape is a serious issue, and I'm going to respect it if you guys don't joke about it during a podcast.
I'm sorry, I have to tell my blog about it.
Okay.
irony. And when another male friend who identifies as a feminist gives himself permission to make a rape joke and call it reclamatory, as if he doesn't already catcall the girl who jogs by his house every day to remind her that she is just a woman.
I do that.
That's a thing he can exert power over just to get in what is always...
I never got the idea that giving a woman a compliment is less like, you're just a woman, or all your power is taken away because I think of you in this way.
It's like, you're just a man. What the fuck?
That's so
That's
stupid.
It's just dumb.
His streets. Never mind that your joke just made a survivor relive what was likely the worst thing to ever happen to them, and you scratch your head, wonder why women are...
Isn't it just like, I don't even have to make a point. They're taking comedy seriously. Comedy. Something that's meant to be humorous. Like, do I even have to make a connection? Do I have to explain what's hypocritical there?
Wait, is this called Poetry Slam?
This is called button poetry.
What the fuck is that?
I have no idea. Another great thing about this is it has 9,000 likes and only like 100 dislikes.
That's okay.
So people eat this up. I actually had a friend who was really mad because I made a rape joke before, and she's not my friend anymore.
I make rape jokes all the time.
They're
funny.
That's why it's called a joke, because it's not meant to be taken seriously.
It's just like people when you make a 9/11 joke, they're like, 9/11 is a serious day. You can't joke about that. I think a chicken crossing a road could be a serious case, because what if there's cars in those roads and the chicken gets hurt?
I mean, yeah. Anything can be a terrible situation,
Then
but it's
maybe we
also a
should.
joke.
I don't think we should tell that joke, because what if a chicken gets hurt?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you don't have like a sense of humor, there's just no fun in life.
No, there's total fun in finding a problem with literally fucking everything.
and are so scared to report while you shrug your shoulders and make our trauma into your victory lap the reason you fist bump your friends at the bar.
How dare you fist bump your friends at the bar, you pig?
For anything
How dare you have friends?
And if I don't
Or
laugh,
fun.
I am no longer the cool girl, but the one who can't take a joke. I have run
Yeah,
out.
that I
Hey,
think that's
that's
exactly
me.
that's exactly
I
what
just
you
said
are.
that.
The girl that can't take a joke. That's what you are. Cause it's a joke.
They know us, man. They know. That's what they say all the time.
They listen.
They probably
to this
got like other
podcast.
people to review it and then like write
Yeah.
extra shit in.
Yeah.
Passion for men who pose as feminists, but when a woman brings up the sexual assault epidemic, they suddenly want to talk about something else. Something less of a
That doesn't
downer.
happen.
I have run out of compassion for wolves. I have run out of compassion for anyone who isn't outraged. I ran in this stubborn body.
How dare someone not be outraged that rape is occurring? It's just because it's like robbery occurs, but there's no feminist slam poetry about how you can't make a joke about robbery because it could really affect the victims that were robbed.
Or a fucking house fire, like I'm being oppressed.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my fucking god, dude. I've picked apart rape and feminists and their connection like so many times in the span of 5 episodes. It's very tiring.
It's funny because they complain so much about like rapists and shit, and like how it's not taken lightly, yet they take it lightly.
And then we complain about feminists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's just one giant circle.
it's a
Yeah,
great
that's
dynamic.
really
of
all it
autism.
is.
It's a giant loop of autism.
It's an amazing dynamic.
I am the opposite
People should just be killed after age 50. I can't say that.
Fraternity pledges chanted no means yes, yes means anal. I fuck dead women and fill them with my semen.
No means yes.
Nice.
Every man inherently thinks that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true.
Yeah, I think every man has said that at least one time in their life.
No means yes. Yes means anal. That's actually a very humorous thing to complain about. I'm gonna tweet that.
Unconscious behind a dumpster, pine needles in her hair, naked, wounded, assaulted.
LOL.
Meanwhile, everyone is more concerned with how this experience has taken away her assailant's appetite, rather than the survivor's autonomy. This is not to say all
Isn't how it taken away her appetite is not like part of her autonomy and how she's been affected from it? Stupid cunt.
Dang.
men are hungry. This is not even to say that all men are hungry.
Men are hungry.
But haven't we all
I'm hungry. That's why I'm eating popcorn.
People are hungry, dude.
You're
Jesus.
forgetting about the women. Hungry too. Isn't this what you're
No, women.
She's always hungry.
I don't think women are ever hungry. Alright, guys. Joe kind of messed everything up, but we got everything back on track.
That's a lie. He knocked his mic over because he's a dipshit.
Joe messed everything up, and we're gonna finish this video.
I'm not even in the same
First
room with
between a
him.
full man's teeth. There is a fraternity in Minnesota that paints the stone lions outside their front door the color of the panties of the last girl they successfully assaulted.
LOL.
You call
Nice.
this rape culture? I call it this morning. Shit, I was called 4 times.
That's a
on the
good
way
one.
here. If my trauma were made into an art museum, the most popular exhibit would showcase portraits of every man who has ever assaulted me, snarling, and the smell of his sweat.
I hate how feminists, and I bring this point to them all the time, they act like most people think rape is a good thing. And they act like somehow, by them speaking out against this, they're going to stop it. I
I
think
think they want to be raped.
I think robbery, and I could be wrong, I think robbery actually happens more than rape. So I would like to see them on the front lines about robbery. That's actually
like-
like a really interesting thing to me. I argued to this one girl, and she was like, "We're spreading awareness about rape so people can stop it." Please
Well,
tell
yeah,
me.
I'm- already know-
Yeah, please tell me who
Rape
thinks rape
exists.
doesn't exist.
It's like telling a serial killer to stop killing because it's bad.
Like,
I'm
they
pretty
know
sure
it's
they already
bad, that's
know.
why
They
they do
know.
it.
You don't.
Yeah, exactly.
They teach you, if you learn anything about psychology, that the best way to tell somebody that they're wrong and change their mind is not at all to go up to somebody that fully thinks they're right and say, "You're wrong."
The only way they can change is if they change themselves. Nobody else can just tell them.
But
because
it's
not
not
gonna work.
like,
Hey, by the way, you're raping someone. I don't know if you knew this.
it's not like,
It's like, oh dang, you caught me.
it's,
Yeah,
I
like,
can't
they're
even
not just gonna
say
correct themselves.
that they're trying to influence the ideas of rapists, though. They're just looking for a light to complain in and make themselves constantly look like a victim.
Or a saint.
I
That's
don't know
really all
of
it
many
is.
rapists who actually call themselves feminists, unless you broaden the definition of what rape is, which they're probably doing. So fuck you.
Being a
Sweat on my
hitman would be cool.
pillowcase follows me to sociology, and the whole class can tell that most days I am more victim than I am survivor in this room.
What did I
Try to
just
write a
say?
poem about
What did I just say about her painting herself as the victim? I
That's
am more
literally all they
victim
do.
than I am survivor. I am really strong, and that's why I'm complaining to you guys about rape right now, because I'm so strong that I have to complain about it fucking constantly.
It is so easy to play the victim if you've never like been in a situation where it's like this, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
No, not exactly. I think she's very smart. It full screens.
Nothing other
Dang.
than my sexual assault, but all
Your
that
beautiful
comes out
face.
is my throat in his hands.
LOL.
A few hours before one of my best friends raped me on our college campus, we discussed the prospect of astral projection. He couldn't understand why I wanted to experience
Ass.
it so badly. Why would anyone want to leave their body, he laughed. And in this moment, we had nothing in the world in common.
LOL. Woo! Yeah! I think people that watch this get the misconception that I support rape or some shit.
Yeah, people tend to do that a lot.
Like, rape is bad. No shit.
Yeah, but it's like
We don't
saying
need an entire poem or whatever this is to, like, scream about it, because we all know it's bad. The only people that
saying
don't are
I think people that
Rapists.
write poetry like
rape,
this.
saying rape is bad doesn't make it any worse. It's like we already know it.
I know.
Yeah, it's like we already know it's bad and shit, and they know what they're doing too. And it's like, oh dang it, I thought pressing down on her throat and strangling her was like a good thing. It's like they know exactly what they're doing.
I think people that write this kind of poetry are gonna get flaming buttholes. Just my
They
opinion.
already do.
All right, we are now going to enter the Black Lives Matter portion of the episode. We are going to watch Black Lives Matter supporters and people who are against it. And we are going to start off with, I have no idea because I just handpicked this video. But we're going to see what this guy's about. It's by America Sold Out.
Nice.
sounds
Great music, dude.
Out. Mike Lawson here,
Oh, this guy looks cool.
and I am pissed. Let me tell you something.
Why you pissed, man?
This past weekend,
Tell me.
Akron, Ohio,
He's the generic old man. This
Sounds like
past
fucking Optimus
weekend.
Prime.
He looks like
He
the
looks like every
stereotypical
redneck
biker.
I've ever met.
He looks like every biker in one, dude. It's beautiful.
a
He looks like
group
every guy I've
of
seen at like
7
Brickers.
Caucasian
He
males,
sounds like a character from
In the corner.
Transformers.
and that's white people. For those of others of you that don't,
Did you know that a Caucasian male is white?
Dang.
No
This
way.
guy knew that.
get it?
He must
7 white guys
Really
walking
smart.
down the street in Akron, Ohio, minding their own business,
Ohio.
not bothering a soul, and they are attacked and assaulted by a group of 7 black guys hollering and screaming Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
They attacked them, beat the living hell out of one in particular that required hospitalization.
You know what the thing about the Black Lives Matter movement has really been to me? It's that people that are for it make me want to be against it, and people that are against it make me want to be for it.
right. Because both
just
sides are equally as terrible.
Yeah,
7
sounds
black
like-
guys. You could tell that this guy isn't anti-Black Lives Matter because of the riots that have happened. You could tell there's some rooted racism in him.
Yeah. I mean, just
Nice.
look at him. He probably has like a Confederate flag shoved up his ass right now.
Probably.
Dang.
They, what the hell? Black Lives Matter. We're going to show our ass. There's Whitey. Let's beat his ass.
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you. I am tired of this bullshit.
I love this guy.
His fucking voice, dude. Bullshit.
Like, no man's voice can go that deep. Like, what barrier has he broken?
He's got like his fingers on his throat under his beard or some shit. Like, he's doing like this and shit under his
Yeah.
throat, under his beard.
I like this guy's beard, though. I gotta give him props on that.
He must have been growing that for years. He's literally Duck Dynasty as a person.
Yeah.
All 4 Duck Dynasty characters or whatever the fuck come
Because
together
I'll
to
tell
make
you
one
what, there's
racist
an
plan.
answer. And there's a solution.
Okay.
I don't say Black Lives Matter. I say all lives matter.
All right.
But some of you people don't get it. And you can't be a part of society.
Explain it to us, you
and
great
you can't,
intellectual.
contend with man's rules. You're going to just do what you want to do.
Wow.
Well, wrong again. Because where I
Dang.
I love how that was just a minute of him saying people are wrong with no explanation.
He doesn't seem like that bad of a guy.
I don't think he does seem like that bad of a guy. I just think like there seems like some side of racism to him.
Yeah, no, he's not like a bad guy. He's just a dumbass.
Yeah.
come from,
He just sounds like your grandpa that means good but is so out of touch with reality because he just watches like the same news
Yeah.
network every day. He just like sits around and watches Fox and reads the same newspaper every day.
Yeah, like my grandparents aren't racist or anything, but I remember like I caught him one time saying like Chinaman when we were going to like a Chinese restaurant or something.
My grandpa does that too. He's like, "Oh, I'll tell you what, it's the goddamn Chinese."
It's like they mean well, but it's like because of the era that they're born in is different.
One thing that's funny to me is like conservatives hating against liberals when they like Iceland or something, and then they go on and support Russia for killing gay people.
I like Iceland.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen. Now I hope you bunch of little pussy boys, candy ass motherfucking
There's so many
Pussy
sound
boy.
bites from this guy, dude. Pussy
That
boy.
word. We need to hear that
bangers
again.
with your little
Alright, I got you.
colored
This is legend.
skulls where I come from. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Now I hope you bunch of little pussy boys, little candy ass motherfucking gangbangers with your little
Gangbangers.
colored snot rag.
You know what I hate is every time my grandpa brings up Toledo, he calls everybody that in front. He's like, "They're just a bunch of thugs, man." The
Yeah, my dad was like telling me, "Don't be a gangster." I'm like, okay, Dad.
when I was in 5th grade, I was slouching while I was sitting, and my English teacher went to me and she was like, "Sit up. You're not a thug."
Really?
What the fuck?
I hate
I-
that the definition broadens so much.
Every time, every birthday, my mom like takes a picture of me like next to my cake and shit, and I always throw up gang signs to fuck with her.
Like the blood symbol?
Yeah, like West Side and shit.
Yeah.
This
Just to make her
quote,
mad.
this quote is from Adam whatever from Secular Talk, who we're gonna watch like his video soon or whatever. But he said, which is pretty funny to me, is that people in hockey fight all the time, and white people love that shit. But if somebody ever fought in the NBA, it would just be a bunch of thugs. So I thought that was a
fuck?
pretty funny dynamic. It's true.
Yeah, but
Tied to your wrist, hanging out your pocket, a certain color, a certain club, blah, blah, blah. I bet you pick boogers and eat them when ain't nobody looking.
oh what? Oh, man, you really got me there.
I
Mental
cannot be
giants.
serious. Oh my
Wrong
God.
again. And I know
I got a pretty intellectual argument against Black Lives Matter. You guys eat your boogers.
Pretty much.
it's got to stop, people. We got to put a stop to it.
You gotta stop eating
it's
your
not-
bite.
We
Shooting
gotta
more
stop him.
people.
He's like
You
the
gotta-
equivalent of the Beast when it comes to speaking out against shit. He just reiterates the same point and never gives any explanation for it.
It's like we gotta stop things by killing more things.
Yeah.
Girls don't date the nice guys because girls don't date the nice guys.
Yeah,
And
pretty
girls
much.
really need to start dating the nice guys.
Right to peaceful
By the way.
assembly. You got a right to protest, and I honor that.
That's good.
And I am not prejudiced. I am not a white supremacist. I am
right.
not a hate monger.
I'll take
I am
your word.
an American
It's Mongerer.
that fought for this country in the
He
military.
fought for this country, Joe. This man is a veteran. I would really appreciate it if you listen to his words. He fought for this country.
Pretty sure everyone
I
did.
fought for this country domestically as a law enforcement officer.
As a law enforcement officer,
And
Joe.
now I'm seeing all these boys in blue being put down and attacked and scared to do their job.
All right, so for the first video, it's just this guy that is like picking shit from one side and complaining about it, and then having no nuance. So that's this video wrapped up.
I think cops shoot a lot of people because of the fucked up things we already do.
All right. Well, before we go on to the next video, let's talk about Tamir Rice. The popular idea is that Tamir Rice was rightfully shot. He had a gun. It doesn't matter how young he is. They don't know what he would have done with that gun. Joe, you go ahead and explain your thoughts on this situation first.
Wait, I thought it was a BB gun though.
It was a BB gun, and
And how old was he?
he was 12 years old, and the excuse is that the cops didn't know that it was a BB gun because it had the orange tip off, and that he was waving the gun around the park.
Well, I think that they didn't take the necessary precautions because they just straight up drove in the grass, got out, and then just straight up shot him. They didn't call other backup, see the area, try to like even like talk to him at all. They just straight up shot him, which is kind of fucked up. But I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, he shouldn't like have a BB gun waving around in the first place with the orange tip off.
I disagree.
But it's like they probably shouldn't have just shot him like that. It's fucked up. But I mean, yeah, they just didn't do like the necessary like fucking roles they're supposed to do as cops.
I disagree.
They just okay. Well, great. But it's like they didn't do it like their actual fucking job. They just assumed, oh shit, he's got a gun. Let's shoot him. I don't understand. Like they just like who can just fucking shoot a little kid like that just because he had a gun in the first place?
Cops.
It's like I would be more scared of like a fucking adult with with a gun than a kid. It's like he hasn't had training or anything. Even if it was a gun, he would just fucking get blown back by it if he shot it.
I
It's
disagree.
just stupid.
Taylor,
Okay,
what is
well,
your opinion on the situation?
Like, I agree with Joe a lot. Obviously, they should have just shot him right on the spot. I mean, he was wrong for just carrying a gun around. Like, even if it was a BB gun, like, it can still obviously be mistaken as a gun. But they should have shot him anyways. Like, there's wrong on both sides, you know?
Yeah. When I was
mean,
14,
he's just a kid, and you should know that, like, he obviously wasn't carrying an actual gun if he's just a kid. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I
if he
think
was, they would just take it away from him.
exactly. But I think if it was a real gun, that you're not supposed to just shoot him like that in the first place either. That's not the
Right.
actual like precautions you're supposed to take. You're supposed to actually worry about like the other people around him that he could harm, and they didn't really care about that. Like you're supposed to set up barriers and fucking surround him. You know, just walk up and just shoot him just because it's the easier step to take without actually investigating what's happening.
when I was 14, I remember first fighting against this, and my parents were on the side of the police. They were like, well, you don't know if it's a real gun or not. And what's really funny to me is that there's been several cases where adults have had guns, and cops straight up just stopped them and took them to jail for not having a warrant. But with a 12-year-old, it's get out, don't even hesitate, and to shoot the kid in the face. Even if somebody's just like walking around with a gun, you don't just kill them.
Right. It's bullshit.
Have they can't you tase them? You tase people for unnecessary shit all the time. You can't tase a kid.
Yeah, they tase drunk people, but they don't tase fucking people with guns.
They tase pregnant women and people that are like dying and shit, but they can't tase a kid.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough like boundaries.
Also, dude, that
they've set
like
for cops.
thinking about it, when I was 12, I would probably do some stupid shit like that.
Yeah,
Walk
I used to have
around
like
with
a bunch of Nerf guns and shit. I
A
think
lot of,
I spray painted my Nerf guns to make them look like real guns.
like, a lot of kids have like gun influenced like toys and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they actually have guns. And
Yeah.
if they do, you're probably in Detroit.
Crime has gone down because of like toy guns and guns on video games because people aren't actually doing the shit. So if
Right.
anybody wants to fight against that, then suck my pee-pee. Anyways, we are going to move on to a liberal side of the Black Lives Matter debate and watch this 1 or 2 minute clip by Sanders Bernie
I don't like liberals.
by the Clinton News Network. And we got an ad. Do you guys think it's going to be Hillary Clinton ad? Yes,
Yep.
it is.
I don't like conservatives either.
Me for preparing for this debate.
Uh-huh.
And you know what else I prepared for? I prepared to be president.
Oh!
To build an economy that works for everyone.
All right, hold on. What's really interesting is she is stealing Bernie Sanders' rhetoric because every debate Bernie Sanders would say, we need to build an economy that works for everyone. And now that she can't win Bernie voters on her side, she's just going to steal his rhetoric completely. Trump even has, like, I think they split Bernie Sanders voters in half because Hillary's not even good enough in the liberal role to get liberals to vote for.
Right.
Comprehensive background checks.
Yeah.
We've got to work more closely with our allies to
Oh,
make
really?
sure we keep people safe.
Like
You have to
Iraq?
judge us. Who can shoulder the
They're cool.
immense, awesome responsibilities of the presidency? Who can?
You know,
put
Alan
into
is just
action
as
the
bad
plans
as
that will
Iraq.
make your life better?
Yeah.
My question for the candidates is, do Black Lives Matter or do all lives matter?
What a great question, sir.
The question from Arthur in Des Moines is, do Black Lives Matter or do all lives matter?
What a fucking
That question,
dipshit.
Senator
He already
Sanders.
knows the answer.
Black Lives Matter. And the reason those
That's stupid.
words matter,
Matter?
the African American community knows that on any given day, some innocent person like Sandra Bland can get into a car, and then 3 days later, she's going to end up dead in jail.
LOL,
Or
what
their
a
kids are
faggot.
going to get shot. We need to combat institutional racism.
Can we even agree that if we hate this guy on policy, at least he sounds genuine, unlike Hillary?
Yeah, but
At least he
it's
sounds
still
like he
kind of-
means what he says.
he's
So
still
even
kind
if
I
of
it's,
agree with like a
shit.
lot of Bernie's shit, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, there's like wrong to it too, you know?
yeah, there's
I don't
obviously wrong to it, but you could tell that it's just not robotic. I'm gonna listen to what the polls say.
Yeah.
Material.
I don't like Bernie that much because it's like he's too much like Obama. It's like, hey, we see you've worked hard to make this money. Let's take some of it from you to give it to other people who barely work.
Yeah,
Right. That's the wrong side of him, obviously, but I don't
Like
know.
I understand like his like goals. He wants to make things better for people and easier, but it's like you can't just give free shit away to everyone. It's just
Yeah,
not possible.
exactly.
yeah. On
People
that,
need to
I don't
work.
think he's necessarily a good candidate in policy. I just
Neither-
think that he
neither.
says what
You know,
he means.
he never actually had a job until he was 40 years old.
I just think he says what he means and he's consistent with what he says. So I don't think like there's any way. If there was anybody else that wanted to be president and I disagreed with them on everything and they were on the Democratic side, I would put them over Hillary because I can't see anything Hillary says and say she means this. Hillary seems like way
She's
more in it for
basically
herself.
saying just what the people want, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all based off like their feedback.
We should watch the video. Like look up like Hillary Clinton lying for 15 minutes straight.
We will
You'll-
watch
you'll
that
fucking-
on one of the episodes.
You'll fucking love it, dude.
We'll watch that on one of the Trump and Hillary episodes.
Oh, we should just watch it today. It'll fit with the rest of this.
Nope.
Kinda, not really.
Well, it isn't
Top
Black
to
Lives
bottom.
Matter.
And we need major reforms in a broken criminal justice system
Like,
in which we have more people in jail than China. And I intend to tackle that issue to make sure that our people.
I think the major problem with more people being in jail than China, even though China has a bigger population than us, is because we send people to jail over having drugs that don't actually harm them and shit.
Right.
Like we just fish.
We
for
send
ways
people to
send
jail like as much as we can.
I want to pay taxes because somebody smoked something that doesn't disparage their health in any way.
Right.
Yeah, no one thinks that.
People have education and jobs rather than jail cells.
All right, so pretty bland segment from you. We're gonna go to Phil from Dunk Dynasty and
From you, wait, who is you? Are you talking about me?
no, from Sanders.
I was gonna say that's rude.
We're gonna go to Dunk Dynasty and see what this wigger has to say. By this guy named Secular Talk.
Story. I forgot to bring this up yesterday, but I should have. This is from the same GQ interview that Phil from Duck Dynasty made those horrible anti-gay comments. He said, quote, "I never, with my eyes, saw the mistreatment of any black person," talking about back during the Jim Crow days. "Not once. Where we lived, it was all farmers. The blacks worked for the farmers. I hoed cotton with them. I'm with the blacks because we're white trash. We're going across the field. They're singing and happy. I never heard one of them, one black person say, 'I'll tell you what, these doggone white people,' not a word. Pre-entitlement, pre-welfare, you say, were they happy? They were godly. They were happy. No one was singing the blues."
So people were happy under Jim Crow. Opinion, Joe?
That's just not true.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
I mean, there's not much to say to that. It's just wrong.
Who is like, how does a guy from Duck Dynasty deserve a voice in such an important matter?
I mean,
'Cause he's such a wacky and zany guy, and people love rednecks on TV.
they just want to hear their opinions because they're crazy on TV. They're gonna be crazy with their opinions.
This like
Yeah.
the bias on the Black Lives Matter side is like every time a white person says that, we're gonna say that your words have no power because of the skin you were born in. And the bias on the conservative side is black people never suffer. So it's equally, that's what I'm trying to say, is I'm caught in the middle of these two insanely stupid groups. Like, I agree with the statement that all lives matter as well as the statement that black lives matter. And you could argue that saying black lives matter cops out the other lives, or you could say that saying all lives matter cops out the issues of black people. And either side can make that point, but neither has like made it good or strong enough for me to follow either side. This man's sus.
So because Phil from Duck Dynasty, a white man.
White man.
A white man, how dare you?
Black people were happy under Jim Crow in the South. Therefore, they were
This guy kind of
happy,
looks like a fag.
and they were godly, and it was a better time. You know,
Okay. Just
The
sitting
awkward
next to you.
silence.
all I
You
can
just
say
forgot
is
what to say.
black people disagree.
You
And
ran
black
out,
people disagree.
ran out of arguments.
Because Jim Crow
Voice keeps
were
cracking.
literally second-class citizens. And there's this little thing that went on all the time called lynchings.
Nice.
There used to be public
Oh.
gatherings. People don't know that about lynchings. People don't think about it, but there are pictures.
All right, so obviously, this guy is stupid from Duck Dynasty.
Lynching was only around in slavery times.
This guy from Duck, no, it wasn't, because the KKK after slavery times.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but anyways, this guy from Duck Dynasty is stupid, and this guy is trying to explain to us why it's stupid when you can explain why it's stupid in like 20 seconds.
Right.
We're gonna watch Pat Robertson, a 80-year-old Christian that I think got rich off of donations from telling people how the world is gonna end all the time. And people would like buy his shit because he would constantly tell people the world is coming to a end. People are sinning. Jesus is gonna come back anytime. And now he's rich because of scamming people and shit. Anyways, this is called "Don't Let This Country Turn into Russia."
Wait, what does this have to do with
This is the
It's
shocking
about how the Black Lives Matter people are acting in the riots.
thing. This man is, if you happen to see his face, he is a black man. Where are the black people? Black Lives Matter. Why don't they stand up and talk about Steve Cochran? It's time
This guy looks like a chimpanzee, dude.
that they stand for one of their own, but at the same time, all of us need to stand for a man like this. He is just expressing his faith. And in America, we should have a right to hold our own private religious beliefs. And
who is coming out and saying people can't have religious beliefs? Like, who is actually on that playing field? I hate the Christians that are constantly like, Christianity is under attack. By who? It's the most popular religion in the U.S. Who is actually fighting them besides Mr. Joe Murphy?
What? I don't give a fuck about Christianity.
Joe wants to eradicate all of Christianity.
I think fucking
You are
religion
not
is a
allowed to be
necessary
Christian.
thing.
You are not allowed to be Christian.
In civilizations, religion's just a
the
necessary
fact that he
part.
believes a certain thing having to do with sexual purity, it is so clear in the Bible. It's over and over and over again in the Old and New Testament. And so all he's doing is reaffirming biblical values that are held by hundreds of millions of people around the world and by an overwhelming majority of people here in this United States. Are we going to allow a few people, you know, surveys show 1% of the American people are lesbian, 1%. And
1% of the American people are lesbian. Do you agree with that, Joe? Do you think that's a pretty good stat?
I have to look it up. Give me a sec.
I'm gonna have to say no because I know a lot of lesbians.
Yeah, it's a fringe part of the community.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of 90% of the girls I know are lesbians.
There's more furries than there are
Okay,
lesbians.
so an early report published in 2011 by Williams Institute estimated that 3.8% of Americans identified as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, 1.7% as lesbian or gay, 1.8% as bisexual, and 0.3% as transgendered.
So I guess it is true, but
Sort of.
how many people do you think haven't come out? As of
Exactly,
Bitcoin?
yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's
Those
a
are
giant
like
majority.
the amount of people that are out.
Let's totally ignore that. Both sides just ignore stats to make their points and enforce their dogma. Oh my God! Keep full screen.
Perhaps 4%, maybe 5% are homosexual. That's it. And are we going to allow this tiny minority to take away the jobs of people who believe?
All right, so he's all over the place. First he's on black people, and now he's saying that gay people want to take away the jobs of Christians and stop Christianity. So this is a reoccurring point that's been made and destroyed many times. Homosexuals don't want to take away Christianity. Christianity wants to take away homosexuality. All right.
Yeah, I'm not religious. I'm not like part of Christianity or anything, but I think it's just a necessary thing for people to follow.
I do
Just
not.
because it's like, I don't know. I think the amount of like places that like how far we've gotten because of religion. I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of bad now, but I'm saying though, it's like
we've gotten far because of the Enlightenment period, where in the scientific revolution, where people started setting aside ideas like religion and started studying science.
Yeah, I know that too. But I mean, I think just
like the major
moral-wise,
part.
not logic-wise, but moral-wise, some people just need it, or families.
Yeah, some people need to lie
Or
to
some
themselves
people,
about
or some
shit to
people
feel
find
good.
religion after bad shit, and it's like they need it.
They need to lie to themselves to feel good.
Huh? Wait, what, Taylor?
Like, sometimes people just turn to religion because that's, like, all they, like, believe in, you know? Like,
It's all that can help them.
yeah.
I think it's just a necessary thing. Although I don't like follow any religion, I don't really give a shit.
Religion is
saying it's-
emotional fucking bullshit, and if you tell yourself that religion is real just so you can feel good, you're a piece of shit.
Dude, what? I think if you believe in a higher power,
If you
that
believe in
helps
it, that's
you.
fine. But if you believe in it on the basis that it makes you feel good, then fuck you. Because I know people that are like, yeah, there's basically no evidence of God, but me thinking that he exists makes me feel good. And then when I was like 12, I was scared to admit to myself that I feel like God doesn't exist out of fear of what life would be like, not expecting a heaven after life. So I understand the fear, but you can have it. It's still an irrational fear if you have it, though.
My mom never told me about God really when I was younger. It was only my grandma's and shit. So I've kind of just grown up not like believing, but just not really part of a religion. My mom's Catholic, but she thought it was my decision to make whether I should follow religion or not,
Dude,
even at a young age.
Growing up, there's been way more of people that have like fucked over me because I'm atheist than people that have fucked over people for being Christian. So I never want to hear that religion is under the attack, because there's still, if I went out right now and made a tweet that I'm atheist, 50% of my friends would turn their back on me.
I don't know. I don't really call myself an atheist because I think shit can still happen. I have no way to prove it, whether he does exist or not, and it's not really up to me.
That's how
It's
I am
not-
too.
But there's like
It's
1,000 gods, so there's no way to prove any of them exist. And the fact that there's 1,000 gods that tons of people believe in make me side on atheism. I'm not saying it's totally untrue. Like, there is still a chance that one thing can be real or one supernatural power can take place, and you can't wholeheartedly prove that there's not a chance of that. But I think evidence and science goes against religion, and if you look at it rationally rather than an emotional, I need to think like this to feel good, then people would find themselves on the side of atheism.
Well, I think it's either like Mark Twain or someone. They had like an old claymation stop motion show, like in the 70s or the 80s, I think. And one of like the skits was like a man goes to heaven, but it's like the people at the front gate, it's like an alien, and they're really fucking bitchy. And when he finally gets in, it's actually just like a giant rave party for aliens. And like he says to himself, like, a man's got to find his own his own heaven. And I kind of go with that.
That doesn't
That's
go
like,
with religion, though. That could just be like finding your own happiness on Earth.
No, not on Earth, but it's like finding your own thing to look up to.
Yeah, that
Like
could be on Earth.
Every man has to find his own religion or happiness or heaven.
That's a metaphor, though. He's a writer.
That means he's wrong.
No, that doesn't mean he's wrong. I'm just saying he's a writer and he made a metaphor. He didn't necessarily say everyone actually literally needs religion.
I know, but I kind of go with that now. I don't think everyone needs religion. I think some people can just be fine without it. But I think it's just, I don't know. Well, like, an example is my grandpa. He basically, like, he was like an addict of heroin for like fucking years and all sorts of drugs and shit. And then he met my grandma, and then he just kind of like started, finding religion, and now like they're both great and they're both doing great, and they have money, and he's like, I think he's been sober for like 40 years or something. because religion helped him. I think it's just a necessary things because I don't think humans are strong enough without something to look up to.
Yeah, but that's something.
But
doesn't have
it's
to be
changing
religion.
now. Obviously, I think less people are following religion because I don't know. They have other things to look forward to now. But I think
The
it's just a
basics.
necessary thing.
The basics of my point is you shouldn't be an atheist just because atheism is like now the cool thing to do.
Oh
And
yeah,
you,
well yeah, because I was like a fucking hardcore atheist in 7th grade, and I got bullied for it. And now like last year
exactly.
in
Don't
freshman
just
year,
ignore like there's a point of view that was brash about your atheism, but there's also a side of that people were subjecting against you because you were fighting for that cause.
I didn't like stop being an atheist because I got bullied for it. I just kind of stopped because it's like, wow, this is really pointless. I don't care anymore. But then, like in freshman year, I remember a bunch of fucking kids suddenly start saying, "Oh, I don't really have a religion anymore." It's just fucking dumb. I think you should just figure the things out for yourself.
Right, just like believe what you believe. It's
Yeah,
just
there's
don't shove
nothing.
it down other people's throats and don't copy somebody else because you just think their idea is better than yours.
I
or
can't
whatever.
live under
Exactly.
I can't live under a side where people are completely projecting against people on the front lines, knocking on their doors saying you're stupid for following a religion or not following a religion.
Right.
But I also can't live on the side where it's like if your religion teaches harmful values like hate Christians or go out and kill people that don't believe in your religion, then you should totally ignore that. Like how most presidents or most people in the government are scared to say Islam is a religion that is founded on the idea that if you don't follow that shit, then you should be killed.
I think cause like my dad, he's a Christian and shit, and he said multiple times fucking like other people's gods, like Allah, they're just not real. They don't exist, and Jesus and God are the only real gods. And I think that's just kind of dumb. I think whatever, if you believe in it, if you think that's a real God, then it is. It doesn't really matter what other people say. If you think that's if you think that's the higher power in life, then that's what it is.
Believe in what you want to believe in means to me believe in something because you believe in it, but that doesn't mean to me reason should not be subject to you, and you shouldn't just follow it because other people are following it. Like I know people that are growing up at probably a lot of Christians that are growing up as Christians and following Christianity because everybody around them is following Christianity.
Yeah, I mean, like I think there's a lot of there's a lot of really good like meaning in like things inside the Bible or just other religions that people kind of just need just to be happy with themselves. Like there's like a serenity prayer, which is Christianity, and that's like it goes like Guy grant me like the ability to be happy with what I have or some bullshit, not bullshit, but like some shit, and it's like I don't know. I think some people just need religion just to instead of like I mean like logic's a good thing and shit, but it's like religion's some people need it just to be happy.
It's just like what they turn to when like they need something, I guess.
Yeah, that too.
But it's fine with them as long as they don't like shove it down other people's throats. Like you have to believe this too, just because I believe it.
Yeah, I remember like a few years ago, like this dude paid like $2 million to make a giant metal cross at a park or some shit. It's like, is that really necessary?
Right. I mean, that's good for like your community of like people with the same religion as you. Just don't put it in a community full of people with different religions.
Yeah, or it's like another guy paid like I don't know like $3 million to build a giant like replica ark. It's like a museum people can go into and shit. And it's like they could have used that money for other things to actually help out other human beings.
Yeah.
I don't think people should be like given the right to have beliefs just because it makes them feel good. Not in a way where it's like bigoted, where like you can't have these beliefs just because they're beliefs I disagree with. Or in a way, if it's like the KKK, they need to believe that they hate black people to be happy.
I don't know. I just don't think religion's wrong.
Hang on.
It's something that you believe
There's a
in
lot
yourself.
of proof against it, though. Like a lot of.
Okay, well, I mean, just
people should
because
look at.
it's like there's facts against it or proof, not necessarily facts, but just because it's there doesn't mean you should just oh that means it's wrong and I should not like it.
Well, if there's facts,
That's like,
if there's more facts against it and the facts have strength, then there are facts for it. To you, in your opinion, it is subjection. then you should follow reason and not feelings, because
Okay,
feelings have
well,
got
what
us to a
about like
dangerous point.
what about like if I really like video games
Uh-huh.
and there's like millions and millions of facts that say religion or no, video games can cause violence and they make you hateful. I'm not gonna like stop because
You
that.
probably should stop, but there are no facts that prove that, so people don't stop video games.
I mean, what if there was though? What if there was honest?
Then people
like,
should
facts?
stop it. If it's
I
actually
wouldn't.
dangerous,
I
then it
wouldn't
shouldn't
stop
be
playing
allowed.
it because it makes me happy.
Well,
That's what
people
religion
murder
is.
because it makes them happy. That's
Well,
just
it
what
makes them. It
spiritual-
makes them look forward to something.
I don't think that's what religion is. I think that's what feeling is, and people need things to feel good. Like feminists need the idea that they're a victim to feel good, and I think that you can feel good, but we shouldn't be putting feeling good on a hierarchy over what makes sense to us, because at the end of the day, what makes sense for us is going to be better for us, because everything everybody believes impacts what they do, and what they do impact others, and what others do impacts us on a train. So people's thoughts at the end of the day do affect us. So I think people should give a fuck what other people think, and I think that we should choose reason over feeling anytime.
I don't know. I have a hard idea on that, just because it's like, I think sometimes people like follow religion because it's like, it makes them give a better purpose and to try to serve other people, not to serve, but to help other people.
Do you
And religion
really
can
need,
do that to you.
Do you really need like somebody above you telling you that rape is bad? I think most people can live without having someone to have to tell them to say that.
I know, but like, that's not religion's though. I think religion's more about like
Feeling good.
Nah, I think putting your life to the side to either serve or not serve to like to not to please, but
Is there such a thing?
to help other people, like putting your life to the side to for a higher purpose.
Is there even such a thing as being unselfish though? Because you're doing, like, even if you do something for someone else, you're doing it because you want to do something for someone else, or some reason has been given you to do something for someone else. So at the end of the day, everything is
Taylor
selfish.
said her dad walked in
I know.
and had to talk to her about something, and she said she got anxious and closed her laptop.
Lit.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, you just got back.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on because the show's almost an hour. We'll watch like one more Black Lives Matter video. Taylor, you can have the last say in the religion debate. Joe, you're not allowed to respond to this. Neither am I.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Well, just believe whatever you want to believe, because whatever you think is right and whatever you think will benefit yourself and your family or whatever, just don't shove it down other people's throats and keep it to yourself. As long as it makes you happy and as long as it makes sense to you, that's all that really matters.
All right, we're going to watch a Black Lives Matter supporter, and that is going to be the last segment of this amazing podcast.
Also, just the fact that he is reaffirming that all lives matters, which in itself is a racist statement, because it just...
In itself, it's a racist statement. Like, she just seems like that teenage girly vibe where their arguments are built completely above emotion, so you can't really take anything they say serious.
Regards the fact, and it gives no validity to the facts that we have around that when we say all lives matter, we know that it is not uplifting the fact that Black lives matter. We've seen time and time again that Black lives do not matter, and so all lives will not matter until Black lives matter. So until we see more equality, until we see more justice that come out of the cases around the killings of Black people, and we see them valued in the same way as killing.
All right, I can't take anything this girl says serious because I hate fucking people that are so emotionally, but like, you cannot have an argument if you're going to be emotional about it, because you're going to have an attachment to one side and you're not going to want to listen to the other side. You're going to want to debate on your side.
Right.
And that's what people do.
Everywhere because I put it on my head.
When you feel for an argument, you want to feel right and you don't want to be right.
And sometimes when you're right, you have to choose like both sides. Like
sometimes when you're right, you have to understand that other people aren't going to see that, and you have to be like,
Right, yeah.
And plead on their beliefs. Joe, you got any final statements for this episode?
Fuck people.
Wow. All right, guys. You can buy shirts in the description for Visual Season 1, and you can follow me on Twitter, and you can expect more eating videos in the future.
I
And
make shirts too. Wait, I make shirts with Alan.
yeah, I said
want
visual
credit.
shirts, bitch.
Yeah,
anyways,
I'm part of Visual.
anyways, I have one question before we go off air, Joe.
What's up?
On episode 50, can I kick you in the balls for an amount of money?
How much money?
$100.
I gotta think about that.
And on episode 100, Joe is going bald, guys. That is the final announcement. Goodbye.